Hey, how's it going? Today I just wanted to talk about on how antidepressants kind of break you before they actually make you better. By the way, I am no such shape, form, any kind of medical professional. I am just a normal person, and I just want to give my perspective as someone who's gone through whatever, right? So, anyways, my background with antidepressants started in 2021 when I had lost my partner due to an overdose. We were separated at the time, but then it did happen that later down the road, I just did not feel a whole lot from the grief, and that started actually coming down quite heavily a couple years later when I was committing very harsh acts against myself. And I got to the point, I cannot say it was the lowest point because that was not the lowest point, but I did get to the point where I have decided that I wanted to not only go to therapy, but also I wanted to start medications. And the one thing that most people do not understand is that once you take a antidepressant, it does not necessarily changes your entire world. It doesn't work like that. And it does take about 2 weeks or so to actually starts working until it actually starts working. But what nobody tells you is that you should start those medications if maybe you have a little time alone or you have time, maybe a vacation time, something that you're not going to be constantly being tested. At that time, I used to work at a large company and I used to work on management. So my team was about 50 people. So there was a lot of people to manage. And of course, there is drama every single day. And that was a very stressful job. But, anyways, I did not give myself the time that I needed in order to start a new medication. I was just desperate by the bad habits I was having at the time. And I just wanted to get started because I was afraid that at that point I would either become sick or just do something much worse. And, as a side effect for whenever you start taking them, I also, by the way, had use of marijuana at that time. And the way it actually feels is that your emotions literally just simply go up and down. It's almost like you're doing something and then out of nowhere you just feel like you want to cry or you want to you just want to burst into in tears. It's the worst thing ever. It's extremely weird, or you can have an outburst of anger for whatever reason. It is really, really, really complicated. I would recommend anybody that starts doing those kinds of therapy. Also, if you do like normal therapy with a therapist, not necessarily just a psychiatrist, is that you start journaling somehow, hopefully on a daily. I think daily is the ideal, just so if you ever have anything major happening and if you need to ever come back, you can always check on what you were thinking at a certain day, what you were doing at a certain day. It's always good to have it registered somehow. The only reason I haven't been writing lately is that I want to start recording videos more often, and I also am on almost hour 48 of quitting smoking. So now every time I decide to have a small craving, I think I'm just gonna try to replace with a new habit. Maybe I will start recording a video every single time I try to have a smoke. Yay. So also I want to talk about on why starting meds while you are sitting in a high stressful environment may be a huge mistake for you. Is that, as I said prior, you have too many variables and you may have too many people around you or too many situations where your emotional may already not be in your very best, and depending of the environment, people will try to test you because that's the human being, that's human nature. Unfortunately, when you work at a position of power, people will try to test you somehow. It's inevitable. And that is the reason why I say it must be really important for you to maybe take a vacation, take sick days off, do some PTO, whatever you need to do. Have it planned before you get started on your medication, because it can be a hard time. You might have a hard time with emotions, and there's got to be also some sense of accountability, because whatever you do while you are under the influence of the medication will still be used against you. You know, you can't simply just come back later and say, sorry, it was my medication. But when the shit is already, hitting the fan, everything is already done and said, there's really no way coming back. That's why I say it might be really important to make sure you are in check with having a environment. I think the environment, your ambient, right? Your environment will 100% influence the outcome whenever you start that. Of course, check with your professionals. Go do therapy. It is really important that you do therapy just to try to figure it out what the problem is. Unfortunately, a lot of people who go to therapy, they think that the therapist will find a solution or find whatever, and that is really not what happens. It doesn't work that way. And it is your job to actually find a solution and try to find a way out of your spiral, and nobody else. I recommend you, if you're going through a mental health crisis, that you go closest to, your support group, whether that may be friends. If you don't have a whole lot of friends, maybe your family. If you don't have a whole lot of family around you, try to go to the gym just so you can go and see people. Avoid using substances such as alcohol, cannabis. I do have friends also that they much rather use cannabis in order to cope with whatever, right? And I also do understand that while it is amazing, at least for me, it does not work pretty well. And I do not have a very good experience. Most likely because I have mixed both of them, medications and cannabis. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's not fun. So yeah, it's either one or the other. But where I live at the moment, I do not have the luxury of, not even the luxury, it is possible, it is accessible. The cartels are all out there trying to sell it to you. But I would much rather go the safe and the legal way, I guess, because it is not legalized in Brazil at this moment. So yeah, guys, let me see if there's any other topics here I should talk about. Of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you do start your medications and somehow you feel that you're having very, very bad side effects, make sure you contact your medical professional and let them know that the medication is not working out for you. Don't forget about it, because many people actually get started on it and then they do not let their professional know what's going on. And there's a mosquito. I hate mosquitoes. And you start the medication and you don't let them know what's happening, or maybe, you're having this extra anxiety or extra fear, and it just makes things worse, right? You need to be contacting your healthcare professional as much as you can. I know it's hard, especially in America, but I'm kind of glad I'm back home because things are a little bit different here. So anyways, please let me know down in the comments if you ever had anything like that. or a situation like that where you were simply going off the rails after you started taking medications. And then let me know your experience. I would like to know. And as always, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you watching until the end. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.